Hey guys, comic artist and illustrator Becca Hilburn here from Natosoup Studio, and today we're going to overview just a few of the many watercolor marker brands that I've reviewed and gone over the years. This is part of my ongoing watercolor basics series over on the blog, natosoup.blogspot.com. So if you're interested in watercolor, if you really want to learn how to use watercolor, or if, hey, you just think it looks neat, why don't you head on over there after this video and check that out. Also, many of these products have reviews over here on YouTube that, hey, I did. So I'm going to link you to those as well. Like I said, this is just an overview, just very briefly going over several brands to help you guys decide which one might be right for you. So we're going to start off with the only fine art watercolor marker that I know of. These use pigments. These are Winsor Newton watercolor markers. I have a Winsor Newton marker video that you can check out right there if you want to learn more about Winsor and Newton markers in general. But today we're going to take a look at the watercolor markers, and these did not come in this case. This is a cheap Utrecht case. I bought several of them while they were on sale. So these markers come in a range of colors, and by range I mean there are 36 colors to choose from. You can find these open stock at places like Jerry's Artorama or Dick Blick, not a sponsor. Or you can find them in sets of 12 and sets of 6. This is a collection that I've assembled myself based on colors that I enjoy using. And if you'd like a tutorial on how to use these markers, click right here for a workshop where I demonstrate how I use them using quite a few different techniques. So we're gonna go ahead, pull one out. These are twin tipped. You've got a brush tip and you've got a bullet nib. They're a bit reminiscent of Letraset's Aqua markers. I don't think those are in production anymore. If you're curious, if you like to know about things that once were but are not anymore, you can head over to my blog because I have a review of that. And you can click that here. And if I ever pause and I'm kind of awkward, it's because I'm taking photos. So if you've missed anything or you want a closer look at anything, again, you can head on over to natosoup.blogspot.com for more of that. So these are the Winsor Newton watercolor markers. They are fine art watercolor markers, the only fine art watercolor markers that I know of. They use pigments. Some perform better than others. I have a list again on the blog. You can check that out right there. If you want to see which colors I personally recommend. Hopefully that'll help you get started with the collection and you won't have any misses. So next we've got the Spectrum Aqua markers, and I have a few videos on those as well. I really like these. These are dye-based. They are made by the same company that makes Spectrum Noir markers. They are twin-tipped, just like the Winsor Newton markers. There is a super-duper fine point, which I think is absolutely useless. Whoa, butterfingers today. And a brush nib that is slightly better than the brush nib on the Winsor Newton markers. The brush nib on the Winsor Newton markers is a little bit annoying to use. Sorry, that shadow, again, me taking photos. So if you want to see these puppies in action, you want to hear my thoughts on using them, head on over to that video and check that out. Oh, you know what? I need to tell you how you can get these. I'm pretty sure you cannot get them open stock. Let's see. Come on, Internet. They are available in 4 sets: the Essentials, Floral, Nature, and Primary. I have 2 of those sets, I believe. I believe I have the Essentials and Floral, but I might have Primary and Floral. So if each set has 12 times 4, that's 48. So there are 48 colors in this series. Oh yeah, I forgot that does not close appropriately. All right, now we're gonna move on to markers I know many of you guys are familiar with, even though they are 110% not at all marketed towards artists, and those are distressed watercolor markers. And I have a post over again at the blog, right there, where I do a field test and I review these. I have a lot to say about these markers, and much of it is not positive. These are also twin tip. They are not, none of these markers are refillable, by the way. They have a brush nib and they have a fine point nib. So very similar to those Spectrum Aquas we just looked at. Sometimes you can find them open stock. Sometimes you can find them in sets. Amazon wants an arm and a leg for them. Some Michaels have them, some Michaels don't. So some Joann's have them, some Joann's don't. So availability is not a strong point. They do come in some very pretty muted colors. And I know they come in 4 packs at least, and you can get them in larger packs as well. Let's see. Okay, so there is a 61 color canister set. You can also buy the storage canisters. There are a lot of skin tones in this, a lot of beautiful muted colors, but your mileage may vary. And I am a big, silly, forgetful person because I actually have examples for a lot of this stuff. So, again, you can check out the blog. Both of these were colored with Winsor & Newton watercolor markers. This was rendered with the distress markers. And my Spectrum Aqua illustration is hiding somewhere. Actually, it's in my con stuff, and it is available for sale. So we're gonna go to one more fiber-tipped brush marker. So far, all of the watercolor markers we have looked at are fiber-tipped markers. Now we're moving into the land of single-tipped, and these are Sakura Koi, and they are some of the least expensive of the options. Just because I haven't seen them for sale in person doesn't mean your art store might not carry them. Let's see. They come in 6, 12, or 24 color sets. There are 48 colors available and a colorless blender. They are water-based, probably glycerin is what I've found, and they are dye-based, so they are not archival, and they are not necessarily a fine art solution, but they're really fun to play with, and a lot of calligraphers really enjoy using them. They're also fairly inexpensive, so if you want to dabble with using watercolor markers, they are a fine way to start. And I think I have an illustration that used them. I just got to dig it up. Okay, so here are 2 different applications. This is applying them like a watercolor wet. So on a side palette, I would scrub some, and then I'd pick it up with a wet brush, and then I'd apply it to the paper. This is directly on the paper to demonstrate that blending is not always very easy to do. Next up is something that are watercolor markers, water-based markers that are very popular and have been for a little while. I don't always understand why, and these are the Zig Clean Color markers. Now, Clean Color is actually the name of a line. There are several products in the Clean Color line. So these are the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, watercolor markers. And they have teeny tiny individual nylon bristles, which you're not really going to be able to see. And in the US at least, the color name is actually on the barcode sticker. So if you remove your barcode sticker, you may not have your color name anymore. Now the old ones have these opaque caps. The new ones have these much cuter transparent caps with a color collar to indicate the color inside. And I have also reviewed those on the blog, and I dare say I have. Oh, well, y'all can see me taking pictures now, so they're cat's out of the bag. Shoot, you can watch those videos if you want to see how these handle. And they can be kind of expensive because they have gotten to be popular. I'm trying to find a sample image that I rendered with them. I'm not having any luck. It's kind of frustrating. Oh well. I know I have, and you can check it out here at the YouTube video right there. All right, so next we have something that is not actually popular in the US, and it should be. We've got Neopiko 4s, and these are water-based as well. They're very similar to Akashiya Sai markers. I think they handle a lot better. If you're interested in the Akashiya Sai, I have a review for those as well in the blog. I have lost or given away, I think I gave away my set. I would love to replace them. So if you're interested in a revamped review of those markers, you know, there are ways we can arrange for that to happen. Now, like the clean color, they have a color cap, individual nylon bristles, single-sided, and a clear cap, but I probably said that. And they're one of the older water-based markers that I have reviewed, so you can check out the review for them over on the blog. And I actually have many more than just one set. They are sold in 5 color sets. And if you are interested in knowing which colors are in the 5 color sets, give me a moment and I can read them to you. And here are a couple of illustrations completed with those Neopikos. And Neopiko makes many alcohol markers. In fact, if you're interested in that, you can check out the blog for those reviews. So you want to specify Neopiko 4. So I have 24 of their markers. I believe I ordered them from the Deleter website. In Neopiko 4 B set, you're getting sky blue, indigo, fresh green, navy blue, brown. In D set, you're getting carmine, purple red, viridian, silver gray, black. In A set, you're getting pink, red, powder orange, yellow, ochre, green. And in C set, you're getting orange, yellow, ultramarine, purple, and dark brown. And these may be harder to find, so they may be more expensive. Now, finally, we are in the area where I don't have necessarily a lot of expertise. We are in the Pentel Color Brushpens, and these are not necessarily intended to be used for watercolor so much as they're intended to be used for calligraphy. And we're also in the children's grade, like these Bienfang watercolor markers, watercolor pens. If you would like to see me do a full review of these, I only have these 3 colors. So as we would with some of the other sets, we're gonna have, like the Akashiya Sai, we're gonna have to work something out. So these are children's grade, and I used to use these a lot when I was in undergrad because I didn't know better. The stop motion little Red Riding Hood animation I did, unfortunately I can't share with you guys because I don't have it anymore. I use these and the Kohinoor watercolor wheel set to complete it. So you might enjoy these for calligraphy if that's what you're interested in. For comic artist use, the ones I recommend the most are the Koi coloring brush pens because of their low price point, the Spectrum Aquas because they're a lot of fun to play with and because of their color range, and the Winsor & Newton watercolor markers because they are actually artist grade watercolor markers, which is very unusual. Now, I've reviewed many other brands from Lyra to Do Crafts over on the blog. So if you're interested in those, in a wider variety of watercolor markers, you should head on over there to check that out. I also have a tutorial over there on how to use Crayola Super Tip markers as inexpensive watercolor markers that I think many of you might be interested in. Just check the annotations, keep an eye on the annotations for links to those things as well. Thank you so much for watching this overview video. Hopefully it's supposed to act like a hub world to introduce you to a variety of watercolor marker videos that should help you out in determining which one's right for you. I also thought it would be easier to demonstrate if I had movement and visuals and sound instead of just writing it, although I do plan on doing a written post. I know that helps some people. I prefer that as well. I retain information better when I read it than when I watch it. So I'm Becca Hilburn. Thank you so much for watching my overview. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you found it useful. I hope I introduced you to some new products that you maybe didn't know about before, or gave you some information about existing products that you aren't familiar with. Again, check out the Watercolor Basics watercolor marker post for full information, including hopefully color charts and color ranges and light fastness and all that kind of important information, especially for artists. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit like. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. As the Watercolor Basics series goes off in a full swing, there are going to be more and more video segments because it is easier to demonstrate certain techniques with video, not just with photos and words. So hopefully, if you're interested in watercolor, I can help you out. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to use those social buttons right underneath this post to share this to your social networks. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, all of those are, important social networking sites, and you would be helping me out a lot. This is a 3-benefit favor. The first benefit is you get to look cool because you're sharing awesome resources with other people, so that builds your street cred. 2, you get to introduce new people to an artist and an educator whose work they might enjoy. 3, you're helping me out and rewarding me for my hard work by helping me build an audience. And that is really, really important to me. These videos do take a lot of work. They take a lot of preparation. They take a lot of materials. So I'd really like to see them get a little more exposure. If you would like to help fund future videos, that's where the Bienfangs and the Akashiya Sais come in handy. Please head on over to my Patreon at patreon.com/natosoup for information on how to join my community of art nerds. The money raised from my Patreon goes to supporting these sort of ventures. If you would like me to purchase something outright, you can make a one-time pledge for that amount and go ahead and link it to me in the comments and I'll get it from there. Or you can PayPal me the money. That information is available in the sidebar on the blog, and I'll go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I get to things when I get to them and when I can afford them. If you are a company that's interested in donating materials for review, please send me an email and we can discuss a partnership. I'm always excited about new collaboration possibilities. So it was super great hanging out with you guys. I hope I inspired you today. I hope to see you again really soon. I'm Becca Hilburn with NatoSoup Studio.